Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all the watchers of Imam Hussein TV. My name is Mahdi Taqi, I'm 15 years old and I'm a servant of Imam Hussein. We've come from London, I'm Iraqi but we come from London and we've started to walk from the holy city of Najaf and this is our second day. We're at about pole 800 and inshallah tomorrow we're going to finish the walk to Karbala. Last Arbaeen I came to was about 4 years ago. It's only my second Arbaeen. I've been to Iraq, alhamdulillah. I've been blessed a lot of times on a lot of different occasions. I've come on Muharram. A few months ago I came for Shahr Ramadan and I've been to many different events, alhamdulillah, but this is only my second time coming to Arbaeen and it's absolutely amazing. Last time I came, like I said, was 3 years ago and the numbers have dramatically increased. So last time I didn't get to manage to do the walk fully, unfortunately. I didn't have the means to do it. And this year is my first year that I'm fully doing the walk from the Najaf to Karbala. But even then I still did a bit of it and I've got to say it's improved a lot in a way that the streets are a lot cleaner now, people are a lot more cooperative. So for example, something new that I've seen is that they put bins in the middle of the road that was never there before. So you just have to chuck it in the street, but now there's a bin you can put in and people, as always, are always generous and loving and giving. And as much as people can talk about the walk and can explain it to you, you'll never really get to see what it's like until you come and experience it, until you come and it's freezing cold or it's boiling hot and you get people begging you to drink chai or to drink water or to come and have food or to come and pray salah with them. And in a way, the people that are the Ahali Mawakir, the people that run these stalls and these helping charities and everything, it's in a way they see you as you honor them, they beg you to come and stay with them. And it's something really, really beautiful. I don't think you see this anywhere else in the world. I don't think anywhere else you see that millions and millions of people walk 80 kilometers from one city to another and they're just given everything. People come here, they carry no money, no anything, and they rely completely on the mercy of the people and on the mercy of Aba Abdullah, because when they come here, they know that the only person they're coming towards, no matter how many people are here, they're coming towards one goal, and that's to show Aba Abdullah that we haven't forgotten him. And that's to show the whole world that as much as they try to give a negative portrayal of Shia and a negative portrayal of what our acts and our beliefs are, we're showing them that we can do something as beautiful as walk with so many people in peace and harmony. And also there's got to be some notice given to the Hash al-Sha'bi, who are the voluntary army that are fighting not too far away from us. And if you see, I'm not sure if you can see from here or if it's been shown before, every pole has a photo of a shaheed that's gone. So every time you look at shaheed, you know that he allows you to walk this distance. So it's something really beautiful that you see so many people, so many young people, people my age, people a bit older, people even a bit younger, they're all going and they're all fighting just to protect us and just to protect the end goal, who is Aba Abdullah. Of course, when we talk about pain in yourself, as much as if you bring the pain of everyone that's walking and you put it all together, you won't even get a fraction of the pain that Sayyida Zainab had to go through, a fraction of pain that Sayyida Ruqayya had to go through, a fraction of pain that Imam Zain al-Abidin had to go through. As much as we complain, as much as we find it hard to walk across, when your feet start aching, when your legs are wanting to give way, when you can't bear to walk any longer, you remember that Imam Zain al-Abidin walked along this. You remember that Zainab walked along this. You think that how dare I stop walking when people like Zainab, when people like Imam Zain al-Abidin walked here and they were whipped and they were slapped. And Imam Zain al-Abidin, he just begs for a piece of cloth to remove the metal that's dug into his neck. So every time you walk, you do feel pain and you do feel like your legs want to give way and you do feel like your feet can't handle it anymore and you feel like you're tired and you're drained and that you just can't physically walk. But you remember the pain that the family of Aba Abdullah had to go through and you compare it with your pain. You see that you feel nothing compared to what they went through, so it motivates you. You think to yourself that if these people, if these holy infallibles, if these people that were sent down by God, if they walked it, then how dare we not walk this path for Imam al-Hussein? When you see the domes, it's something I can't tell you what it feels like, you can't explain it. It's you walk in and you walk through that road and then you see like some beautiful dome and then you just lose yourself, you can't control yourself. Because you've been walking for 3 days and even sometimes or 2 days, and even sometimes when you're walking throughout the days, you wonder whether it's all worth it. And then you wonder whether all this pain, all the suffering that you're going through, whether there's a good end goal to reach to at the end. And when you see the dome, you realize that you've achieved it. You realize that when you see it, everything becomes worth it, because Aba Abdullah, his love is something that we can't explain. And when you see the domes, that's it, you lose yourself. You lose yourself in love of Aba Abdullah. I feel intoxicated by the love of Imam al-Hussein. And there's a beautiful tradition that a lot of people do, and I think this group are going to be doing it as well, is that they don't go to visit Imam al-Hussein first, they go to visit Al-Fadl Abbas first. Because the same way that the army of Yazid couldn't get to Imam Hussein without getting to Al-Fadl Abbas, although sometimes even we may imitate the army of Yazid because of our sins. So we go to Al-Fadl Abbas, we ask him for permission to go and visit his brother Aba Abdullah. Imam Hussein's message and legacy isn't something that's bound by time. So even to non-Muslims that could be watching this, if you think that you'll come here and you won't be given the hospitality as everyone else, no, think that you're going to come here and you're going to be a servant and a guest of Aba Abdullah. So even if these mawaqib don't treat you well, which I promise you personally, that they will treat you well. Because here the mawaqib, they do it out of love. They don't do it, oh, because he's from one certain sex, or he's Iraqi, will favor him, or he's Iranian, will favor him. No, here you favor everyone. You favor everyone because you notice they're a servant of Aba Abdullah. So even if you're a non-Muslim, and even if you may not fully understand the dynamics of Karbala and the story of Karbala, come here and you'll feel real love. Like we may think that we feel love for other people, but you really never experience true love. You never experience anything. You never experience heartbreak. You never experience anything like the Musibah of Aba Abdullah. And for the Muslim viewers, for the non-Shia viewers, you'll be loved here as much as we are, as much as Shia of Aba Abdullah are going to come here, going to be hospitalized and treated, as well as all of us will be. Because I said before, these mawaqib, these people that beg you and they see you as an honor to come to them, they won't favor you over what sect you are. So anyone that can call themselves a Muslim, anyone that calls themselves a humanitarian, they relate to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. Because Aba Abdullah al-Hussein's message isn't something that we keep to ourselves. It's something that can be related to by every single person in their own special way. So anyone that has the means to, or is unsure about coming towards Karbala, I promise you, that's going to be an experience like you've never experienced anything before. And I'm not saying that just so that you can come here, I'm saying that because it truly is like that. When you see the domes and when you see the people walk in, when you see the atmosphere, and when you can feel everything, it's unbelievable. So if any of you do inshallah have the chance, and we pray to Allah that yarzuqna always the ziyarah of Aba Abdullah and his shafa'ah in the akhirah, because without his shafa'ah we won't be anywhere. Without his mercy we wouldn't have got anywhere in our lives. That's why we come here. That's why everyone should come here, because you think that many people may have an effect on your life, and what happens? Nobody has an effect on your life like Aba Abdullah. If your relationship with Aba Abdullah goes well, if you have that love for Imam Hussein, the Imam Hussein will show that love back to you, no matter if you sin, no matter what you do. If you think you're lost, always come back to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. Like Hurr ibn Yazid, he'd come, he stopped Imam Hussein from drinking water. He comes with his head bowed down. Imam Hussein asks him, why are you bowing your head down? He tells him, lift your head up because you've come back to our path. So even for the people that may not be on the path of Aba Abdullah, come back to Aba Abdullah because he'll welcome you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. May Allah bless the Holy Muhammad and the holy progeny of Muhammad. My name is Abu Shibaz. I'm from the UK. I've traveled the world. I've lived in Dubai. I've got business in China. And profession, I do quite a lot of things, but generally you could just say I'm a businessman. And I'm here to visit the Holy Imam, who I owe everything to. There's many things. This is now my third Arbaeen, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. And my fourth, because I did come during the time of, before the time of freedom for Iraq. I came in 2002 when Saddam was ruling this country. But during the Arbaeen recently, yes, I have. For example, today I've seen the streets a lot cleaner. We as people have a bad habit of littering, and the earth is an amanat that we hold for the return of our holy 12th Imam, may Allah hasten his reappearance. So when we're littering the earth, we're actually destroying it, and we're destroying something that we hold as an amana, as something in trust for our holy 12th Imam, may Allah hasten his reappearance, to come back to. One of the things I've noticed when I've done this walk this time is how there's boxes and bags for people to actually distribute and take the rubbish and throw it in. And more amazingly, a lot of people are doing it and the streets are cleaner. And alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, that's another thing. One thing. The other thing, unfortunately when I came, this is a very spiritual walk. One of the times I came, I lost all spirituality, and unfortunately I decided that I'm going to stop walking. And I said, I'm not going to do the walk anymore because I lost spirituality. I don't walk to Imam Hussein alayhi salam for any other reason except to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to show my allegiance to him and to the 12 Imams. So I was walking and there was a few things, I don't want to mention them, I don't think it's necessary. But one of the things I saw that has changed is those things have changed. I won't mention that either because everyone would understand what I mean, but to me, that was the most amazing thing. And how I get between post to post is reciting Surah Fatiha, starting from every single post to the next post, and then I start another Surah Fatiha because I'm privileged. I'm privileged to be able to walk this walk. You know, first thing we must understand, Sayyidah Zainab Salaam never had a choice. She had no choices. We come here and some of us are tired. Oh, my leg hurts, and we sit down and we rest and we're hungry and we want food. To walk, remembering Imam Hussein but also remembering Zainab. It's not a question of do you feel pain, do you feel anything. You walk this walk and you say, the more pain I feel, the closer I get to why I came. And we must understand that Imam Zain al-Abidin Islam, he wasn't given a choice. No one said to him, do you want to rest? Or are you thirsty? Or do you want a cup of tea? Or in my case, coffee. And you say to someone, oh, I want hot water, and they run around. No one did that. They didn't care. They just dragged them and took them and didn't give two hoots about what they felt, what their needs are. So when we're walking, we must keep in our mind that we're walking the walk of no choices. So don't make choices for yourself. Don't say, oh, I'm in pain, or it's hot, or I want to walk this walk when it's 45 degrees and I want to collapse. Because I know my Imam collapsed time and time again. The first thing I do when I reach Karbala and I see the shrines, these golden, magnificent domes that give heaven their light, is I do my sajda to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to thank him that I managed to actually fulfill this walk. I completed this walk, and that I was blessed to be able to do this walk. Then I look at my Imams and I turn around and look at them and I say, don't make this my last time for my ziyarah, because if I don't come back, that will be my death, because I can't take separation from them. My love for them is at a level where I cannot explain to anybody. And I don't come to ask for them, I come to visit them. I don't want anything. I don't want anything. I don't want money, I don't want health, I don't want anything. I haven't come to ask them anything. I've come to visit them. I've come to say to them, look, I am your servant in this world, I'm your servant in the hereafter. This is my allegiance. I will take every stress, pain to come and visit you, to say to you that if I was there in Karbala, I would have given my life before anybody else. I don't want nothing. I haven't come to ask them for anything. I come here just to say, visit you, remember me, remember that I visited you. And my Mom, if hell is what is destined for me, then all I ask from them, and this is the only prayer I say, just once let me meet you and kiss you, and then let what's to be be. I'm fortunate that I've been here to Karbala when it is an Arbaeen, in Ramadan, for example, and in the daytime, everybody's sleeping, obviously they're fasting. I was on Safar, I didn't have to fast. And it was my opportunity to see Karbala in its reality, because the streets are not busy and you can move from one place to another. And I drew a map. and I drew a map as I walked that this happened here, this happened here, this happened here. And I've read Nafas al-Mamum and the tragedy of Imam Hussein, tragedy of Karbala, and Ibn Manaf. So I have some understanding of where these things took place. And when I drew the map, I realized, firstly, it was quite a big area. It was quite a big area. And we hear in the narrations many times that Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he ran into the battlefield when someone was killed, when someone was made shaheed, and he had to bring their body back. And he ran again and he brought their body back. And this happened with 108, some say 72 were his family members, but there were other Sahabas there. I think he must have done a kilometer, it probably was something like 800 meters each time to a kilometer. So related to this walk, I'm walking 80 kilometers. My Imam did that in a day, bringing bodies back. Not walking, he brought bodies back. He was dragging bodies back. He was going out and then bringing bodies back. And so that's how I relate. That's how I see Karbala. That's how I relate this walk to Karbala. And when I see what took place where, it just breaks my heart, because we know from certain narrations that there was a child in Karbala, a baby, not Ali and Askar alayhi salam, but even a younger baby. The riwayat say he was born on the day of Ashura. He was pierced with an arrow. I came and I asked many people, where? Show me. And there's nothing there. I can't find anything. And one day, inshallah, I will turn around, and it's my dream that I can put something there to say this is where this happened. Poetry gives me, there is something known as poetic license. In poetry, we are fortunate enough that we are allowed to use metaphors so we can bring relations. And sometimes people mistake poetry. They don't understand it's metaphorical. So earlier you asked me what do I feel when I see the throne of Imam, when I see the dome of Imam Hussein al-Islam, and I'm sorry I said the word throne, but my poem, I turn around and say to people that you see two golden domes. Me, I see the throne of Allah, I see the Arsh, I see Allah's throne. Not because Allah sits on the top of Imam Hussein, and Allah is greater than that, but this is why we say the throne, why I say the throne is because this is where destiny comes from. This is where destiny comes from. People may not know. When you do go to Karbala and you do inshallah visit Imam Hussein al-Islam, the head angel of the dome, his name is Mansur. And when you go there, when you say your vows to Imam Hussein al-Islam, also say to Mansur, Mansur, write my name in the book that I visited Imam Hussein al-Islam. By God, I swear by Allah, this will save you for in your akhirah, this will save you from hellfire. On the day of Ashura, after the battle and after the shahadat of Imam Hussein al-Islam, Umar ibn Saad, may Allah curse him, may Allah take all his blessings away from him, said to Zainab, what do you see? And she said, I see nothing but beauty. People never understood what she meant. How can a woman say, I see nothing but beauty, when all she sees is bodies and blood? But Zainab wasn't talking about that day. Look at this. 25 million people. I'm from London. I live a luxurious life. I am happy and in love. I walk this and take every eventuality that will come. I will lose my shoes. I will stink. I will get covered in dust. And I don't want to go to Imam Hussein in any other way. I don't want to go to him perfumed and looking like a man in a suit. But this is the beauty that Bibi Zainab was saying, I see nothing but beauty. When you look out your hotel room, or when you go out in the street and you have to walk at a pace of a turtle, where it will take you an hour to cover 10 meters, because there's millions of people, and you're just one of those millions. We have no value. We have no value, except that we become part of those millions and millions and millions, and we become part of that word that Bibi Zainab said, we become part of that beauty.